Greetings, everybody. I am Lobo. Welcome to Luna. This is episode 149 of my Minecraft survival series. And in this episode, we're going to pick up where we left off last episode. We're back working on Ender Island, which means we need to leave Ender Island right here. No relation, of course, to Ender Island, our current project. This is, well, I guess there's a slight relation in that this is how we actually, get to the end and get to Ender Island from Ender Island via the end portal. You tracking all this? You keeping up? All right, let's go. So while Ender Island houses our end portal, which takes us here to the end, Ender Island houses our Enderman XP Farm that we built last episode. Now, I did decide that I do want a build around this Enderman Farm, and that build is going to be a floating island, basically. A floating end island, kind of, but not really all end materials. I want some stone and stuff in there, some leaves and all that stuff as well. So a lot of stuff to consider. Right now, we just have the outline in, but there's a lot to consider before we start building. Number one being, we need to make sure Endermen don't teleport to any of the blocks surrounding this place, which means we're going to be using stone slabs, we're going to be using glass, we're going to be using leaves just to make sure there's no surfaces that the Endermen can actually teleport onto, because on top of reducing our efficiency, it would just generally be not good for our overall well-being. Another thing we want to consider is getting back and forth. This road right here, this glass road, this is not always going to be here. We're going to get rid of it. Now, we do have another glass path down here, but it's in black glass, so more invisible. I feel like it looks better, feels very, very sketchy, and I hate it. I'm not going to walk down this path to get here. What I intend to do actually is fly. This road is here just for, safety, the black glass road. So what I'm thinking we do is give ourselves a way up a little bit higher in the island. That way we can kind of fly as far as we can back towards the main island rather than having to depend on walking the entire distance. And I think this right here would probably be a good spot to go ahead and start getting a little bit of a water elevator built in here now. I do want to be a soul sand water elevator, but I don't currently have any soul sand on me. We'll grab some of that a little bit later, but right now we're just going to get the basics of what we're doing kind of sketched out and in here. And before we do get our soul sand in here, we do need to make sure that all these are source blocks, because I definitely feel as if I am fighting the current as I try to get up here. Look how bright everything is. Wow. But this elevator is going to take us up to a platform which is going to be on this level, and from here we can kind of fly off into the distance. We can't go all the way up because that is our spawning platform. We don't want to end up there with all the Endermans and all that badness. So I think right here is probably as good a place as any to terminate our ride. But from here, let's go ahead and see how far we can make it under our own power. I don't think we're going to be able to make it all the way to the main island. No, we're definitely not. If we had rockets, no problem. But under our own power, we make it a pretty good distance. So yeah, I think that's probably going to work for us. Now, in addition to our elevator, I want to have walkable pathways over here, and we're going to designate those pathways using endstone blocks. So endstone brick slabs, endstone brick stairs, all that kind of mess. And that's how we're going to determine where our walkable pathways are and differentiate it from the bulk of this build, which is going to be cobblestone and stone. Now, we do want to make sure we make liberal use of the endstone slabs and stairs in order to make sure Enderman won't be teleporting onto those blocks, won't be spawning on those blocks, etc. And I think what we'll probably do, actually what I'm going to do is draw out a little bit of this and give you kind of an idea of what we're going to be actually looking at. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, because I wanted these pathways to hug the sides of Ender Island over here. And it's going to be kind of hard to hug the sides of Ender Island if we don't actually know where the sides of it are going to be, because this is not filled in yet. We just have kind of like a wireframed outline. So it might be smart to go ahead and get all the stone and cobblestone filled in and kind of get like the, the spaces between these little outlines drawn in. And later on, we'll come back and do the endstone pathways and like the leaves and stuff like that to add the variation to the blocks. It's gonna be pretty plain, but yeah, that definitely does need to happen first. So let's go ahead and call Wolfred on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get that taken care of. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, I need to get this one. Hold on. Let me look down. There we go. Got it. Welcome back, everybody. And we have the basic structure of Ender Island built in here now. And I do need to go collect my scaffolding real quick. So let me do this. This is so sketchy. I really don't like doing this over this black glass. It just seems like I'm asking for trouble here. So let's go ahead and make our way back up inside and talk about what we need to do next. Next, we need to figure out where we left spawnable blocks in here, or teleportable blocks, because we have Endermen on the loose. And I knew this was going to be an issue. Like, I'm trying to track down where these blocks are that we need to slab over or glass over or do whatever else. They're hard to find because in the hours that it took us to do that, like, inevitably I missed something. Several somethings. It's kind of hard. I should have slabbed over the inside of this with something else other than the stone, shouldn't I? Aha! Found ya. All right. I'm sure there's going to be more of those, and we'll get them as we go along. But man, they're hard to find. But let's go ahead and get back to work. Let's get back to doing what we were doing before the time lapse. So we need to go ahead and start drawing in our pathways that are going to connect our various landings and various areas of Ender Island over here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of this drawn in and hopefully give you an idea of what these are ultimately going to look like. Okay, that's where we're going. I got a little lost on my way trying to build this thing, trying to figure out where it was actually going to lead to. All right, you know what? I might as well go ahead and do something with this as well while we're down here. And we'll go ahead and outline our landing as well, because the landing is going to be a walkable path. The stairs, the pathways are going to be a walkable path, obviously. And the endstone is basically going to be how we easily determine where we can go, where we can't. Now, we do need to kind of flesh this out a little bit, because it's like a little plain right now. So if we have like bits and pieces of this kind of drooping down and you know, kind of thicken it up a little bit, that's going to give it a lot more presence, make it look a lot better, I think. We'll obviously add a lot more detail and stuff into this a bit later, but right now we're just kind of getting our ideas together. I think that looks much better. So continuing to rough things out a little bit, I'm thinking I want these paths to kind of like fork off and go in different directions and stuff like that. So I'm kind of just figuring all that out at the moment. And while the majority of our paths are just going to be for looks, there are some that are going to have practical purposes. For instance, this one right here, this is the landing where our elevator takes us to. So, you know, this is the elevator that comes up from the Enderman Farm. We can fly on back to the main island, or if we need to get back down to the farm itself, we can just follow this path all the way back down there. So yeah, some of these will have a practical purpose. Oh, you see that back? Enderman on the loose. There is an Enderman on the loose back here. All right, so we got some more blocks we need to take care of. All right, so we found that one, and there's apparently more because there's another Enderman over this way. Yep, there's our problem right there. That's our problem. This is going to be an ongoing process. Hopefully we'll eventually get all the spots, though. Man, you need to stop with that. Why are you getting mad at me? You're the one doing stuff over here you shouldn't be doing. But as I said, we'll eventually find all these spots. But now that we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be doing with our endstone over at Ender Island, we need to start figuring out some of the other blocks that we're going to use to add some variation to it. One of those blocks being vines, another being leaves. Hello. Oh no, you better put that down. Nah, see, now I'm going to walk through here trying to harvest my leaves and fall through a hole. Man, Enderman, can't get... Why are you being such a nuisance? Is it because of what I'm doing to your friends? Oh, see, now you're in the water. I heard you. What is happening right now? Oh man, this guy is freaking out right now. Look at him. He's just bouncing all over the place, teleporting into the water. He's just going absolutely insane at the moment. Oh my goodness. Why are there so many Endermen over here? Look back there. They're tearing my spawn apart. No, stop it. No. Oh, I think I know why, because this is spawn, right? I have Watchdog over at the end on the main island. I bet these guys are spawning. Ow. And they're falling into the end portal, and then they're ended up here. We need to fix that. This is not good. No, these guys are going to dismantle my whole area here. They're going to rearrange everything. You put that back where you found it. Nope. He's trying to pick up another one. No, I'm not letting you off that easy. I don't care if you weren't griefing. There's guilt by association. You weren't stopping them. Oh my goodness. These guys are everywhere. I seem to have angered them. Yep, come on in. The water's fine. Cool off a little bit. All right. Man, who needs an Enderman farm, right? Who needs an Enderman farm when we got spawn? We just put one of our accounts over at the main end island, and then boom, never-ending Enderman. Hello. There we go. He went down the hole. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Ow! Get off me. Yep, both of y'all go down the hole. How deep is that hole? Not deep enough. Come on in. Water's fine. Come on, bring it. Oh my goodness, he just kicked me in the face. I don't like that. Anyway, we came here to collect some leaves. I collected some leaves. I think the Enderman threat is gone from spawn for now, at least. So let's get out of here. And just to make sure we don't have to deal with that again, let's go ahead and block off the top of our end portal. We'll just make it so nothing taller than 2 blocks high can actually make it through here, and that should alleviate our Enderman issue over at spawn. No, sir! Don't knock me into the portal. I've had enough of... Oh, there he goes. Now, okay. Spawn issue with Enderman, not necessarily over, because there's going to be one waiting for us. But hopefully that does eliminate future threats at spawn, Enderman-wise. Oh man, let's get back to work. So next up on the agenda, we're gonna focus on hiding all this redstone, kind of getting the interior of this place figured out. As far as the vines and leaves go, like I know we just collected those, but I'm not really gonna show you how I plan to place this because that is going to be pretty much completely random, or as random as I can make it. But since the endstone does mark out our pathways where we need to travel, it would make sense to make big endstone areas in our interiors. That way we know where we're actually going, what our destinations are. And that's pretty much what we're going to use the endstone for, is just to mark out the areas that we're actually supposed to be in. Additionally, we can draw extra attention to these areas if we went ahead and add some lighting to them as well. And that makes this area feel so much better, I think. It's going to definitely draw your attention there. It's going to make it look not so gloomy, because these past couple episodes we've done here probably look super gloomy since we haven't had any lighting in here thus far. And I think I also want to carry the endstone look down into the floor, since we are going to be walking on this floor. That's kind of the theme. The stuff that we walk on is endstone. We're going to get rid of the glass and probably do, since I want to keep this on the full block level, probably do some waterlogged endstone brick stairs. Let me go ahead and get rid of these because we're going to want these waterlogged. And I think that's going to work for us. So it kind of blends the floor into the rest of this place a little bit better. Also keeps us on the same level so we can easily take out our Enderman when we need to actually come in here and do that. And we'll probably also want to go ahead and do something about this as well, this glass right here, because you know you can still see all the behind the scenes stuff, which is not necessarily stuff that we want to be able to see when we're not behind the scenes. One thing I do want to be able to see though are these Enderman's faces. So we're not going to completely block this area off. I want to give them a little bit of area to look through. Oh my goodness, maybe this is not a great idea. This is going to become super annoying. It's so loud. Ugh, look at my leaf texture. What's going on with this? Like it places normally, but they look super weird in my inventory in my hand. I need to actually go and fix that real quick. I don't like that. There we go. Our leaves are actually green now, which is the color they're supposed to be. And as I said, these are just going to be placed randomly, just kind of hanging out, offering us some variation in our blocks and stuff like that, making this whole thing, you know, look a little bit more detailed. And the leaves, along with the vines, which are going to slowly start growing in as we place them kind of sporadically around this place, mixed with the lights and the endstone and stuff like that, that's really gonna, hopefully make this thing come to life a little bit more. I am realizing though that I am going to need a bit more endstone than we've collected so far. So why don't we go ahead and pack up our beacon, move it on over here to the outer end island and collect a bunch of endstone. Probably, I'm thinking 2 shulker boxes worth should do it, hopefully. And oh, I was actually expecting this to be insta-mineable. Maybe not. At least it's faster than normal, right? And there's some kind of trick you can use to insta-mine blocks, like if you got a running start, like if we were to maybe not. Let me try this again. I don't know, maybe. I'm not too worried about it, because we do have our beacon over here, so we'll use that to get the blocks that we need, because this haste 2, yeah, haste 2 better than nothing, right? So what I'm thinking we do, since we do know what we're going to be doing over at Ender Island, why don't we go ahead and call Wolfred on over, put on a little bit of music, and try to get this thing wrapped up. Welcome back, everybody. We have our floating island now completely built in here now. Our pathway is gone, so the only way to get over there apparently is to fly or walk. Okay, it's to walk. Let me try that again. Is to fly? Question mark? Yes, there we go. Too bad I didn't do that on the first attempt. All right, but yeah, we do have Ender Island built in here now, and we do want to enter through this area right here. Oh my goodness, this is not where we want to be. Oh man, why? Oh, ridiculous. Ridiculous. Could you imagine if we looked at those guys as we were coming in hot, you know? We landed in there with a bunch of angry Endermen. Yeah, that would not have been a good time. But let's go ahead and have a peek at what this thing looks like from ground level since you saw it from the skies. I did add some railings over here to keep me safe for if I did decide to walk this journey. Because, you know, at some points I may not have the rockets to spare. I may only have 2 and cannot spare them, so Occasionally, we may want to just walk over here, and I feel a lot safer doing it now, knowing that I'm not going to accidentally, wander off the edge of this. And I did give myself a path up over on this side, which leads into our back entrance, our maintenance area, if you will. And that's how we can access this. We do have Endermen still spawning in here, though. That is going to be a problem. And apparently trying to seek out the individual blocks these Endermen are teleporting to isn't going to work because I'm inevitably going to miss some. What I'm thinking we do instead is maybe just flood this entire place. But we can't just get rid of the wall that was holding the water back because any Endermen that do fall down there might just get washed this way and end up on dry ground, and we can't have that. So what I'm thinking we do is extend this platform just a tiny bit. And from there, it's easy enough just to make sure all our edges are converted into source blocks instead of flowing water. And we'll use waterlogged half slabs rather than the full blocks to keep our Endermen where they should be and also allow water to flow off the sides. And to be thorough, we're also going to make sure that every inch of this place is covered with flowing water, or at least water of some sort. Because, yeah, these Endermen, they're sneaky, they're a crafty bunch, but they're not going to be able to escape this. And one thing I just realized is our item disposal system right here. Yeah, this isn't going to dispose of items like we initially planned to drop items into the void, but we kind of sealed this in so there is no void. So maybe we'll want to go ahead and bring over some sand and cactus and dispose of our items that way. And hopefully, this is going to be the last bit of back and forth we need to do to finish this build. And there we go. We are hopefully fully functional at this point. We can dispose of any items that come through here once our storage system is actually filled up. Oh man. So yeah, this is our entrance to our maintenance area. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick peek around everything. So maintenance area over here. We have our main entrance where we obviously take out our Endermen. This path over here leads us up to the landing where our soul sand elevator also leads us to. And yes, I did put soul sand in here. So now we can pop up here whenever we need to, get a clear shot back to the main end island to go home. And that's the main areas covered. The rest of these paths just kind of crisscross around here. They do actually lead us up to the roof of this place. If I can get around here, just kind of, some of these paths are kind of sneaky. You got to snake your way through them. But this does lead us up to the roof up here in case we need to do any work on that end. And they all pretty much join up with one another, so we can get to any one place from any other place. For instance, you'll notice we are now going back down. This takes us back towards our maintenance area where we started, right here. Oh, but man, I am looking forward to getting out of the end. That is going to do it for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. Let me know if you want to see more. Please remember to subscribe, but as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.